Well, in my opinion, it's called the World of Warcraft. So it's already in its name. It's set a premise for anything can happen in this world. It's not so much, but I think what they try to do in the name, or what I take from the name itself is the fact that it's not specifically a game about something. It's a world that's created, so they can nitpick and include and subtract things from this world because it's a living thing. For example, if you take now into account, you said if Sargeras kills Sargeras, that doesn't end the world. It ends one chapter in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, what we can then do is what we've seen in the past as well. We've taken out players now. We've taken out specific leaders. The Siege of Ogrimmar, Grommash was taken out. He was a leader in this world. He wasn't really a bad guy or a boss, well, he was technically a boss, but he wasn't, you understand, he didn't have an impact in the creation of this world. He was just a bad guy in this world. So now, by doing that...
On that topic, sorry to interrupt you, is specifically
No,
that
that's fine.
is his backstory is quite what is it? Quite humble. He was just the son of Grom Hellscream, who never knew his father because his father was one of the first orcs to go through the portal.
The portal, yeah. I don't even
that's-
know his story.
That's his
Yes.
his story, And when the portal was reopened, Thrall went to go find him and tell him the story of how his father died.
Mm.
He's got no other backstory, and he became one of the main characters in the game. So, I agree with you that the world exists independent of the
story. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of the story, yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say by bringing that up is the fact that we don't need a world-ending. Well, you technically need a world-ending event, but as we see in Cataclysm, what they can do is just alter the world. But what and getting back to your original discussion was about the engine and upgrading the engine. One thing that I've learned, and especially in my work as well, is people love this. They love the same thing. Yes, they want changes to the same thing, but they don't want a dramatic change from one thing to another. If you do that, like for example, you said from Warcraft to World of Warcraft, it was a new concept. So people jumped over to it that loved the lore and all that, but it also drew new people in that never knew it. I mean, there's a lot of players that are 13, 14 years old, so they didn't experience Warcraft as such, as the older players, that they have other, real-time strats, StarCraft 2, things like that to rely on. And then if you I looked the other day at a video of Warcraft 1, and I mean, to be honest with you, I won't be able to play it now due to the restrictions and whatnot. Okay, let's not get into that right now. Let's put a pin in it. Anyway, but people want change.
Yeah.
We all strive for change, but when change comes, we're very resistant to doing that change. Now, I've experienced this daily at work, for example, when modern or new technology is made available and you want to present this to people, then they all say we have to try and make this easier or this better and getting back to the game more interesting, more entertaining. But the moment you do a massive change, you see people very reluctant to doing that. As you said earlier before as well, people go and look at other games and they see, oh, this is new and this is fun. And then they play it and then they think, but Warcraft was better, and go back to what they know.
Yeah.
So people are actually very, I don't want to use the word afraid, but very reluctant
to change. Yeah.
And that's what I think what makes the developers' work really difficult. Because I believe out there are amazing concepts and amazing ideas of how to influence, World of Warcraft type MMO games, and it's just that somewhere someone is saying, people aren't ready for this.
Yeah.
Simply because for World of Warcraft, I believe personally, to die as such, they'll have to turn off the servers. It'll be a question of you trying to log in and it says, the servers aren't available right now.
Yeah.
Or is ever going to be. And Blizzard will just simply lose too much money by doing that. So it's a two-way street. People want change, but they're scared of change. Developers want to give change, but they're scared of change because for them it's going to be a question of, okay, we're going to lose 8 million subscribers paying $10 a month, so we're going to lose a lot of money if we introduce this new system. That's why what Blizzard is trying to do now, and what I've seen, is they've released a new MMO game called Heroes of Might and Magic. I can't remember. That's not Heroes of Might and Magic. It's something else, but Heroes of the Storm. That's it.
I'm playing.
And I think what they're trying to do is, and this is maybe a better concept in my opinion, is release something else. See what effect it has. I mean, I've got nothing against Blizzard. They've entertained me for 10 years so far with this game, so I've only got good things to say about them and good things to say about World of Warcraft. If you don't like the game, don't play it.
Yeah.
Surely there's other games out there that you can enjoy. But while giving us something that we're used to, they're offering something else that is different. Instead of taking everything we know, everything we love, and just simply changing it. In real life, we don't have that luxury, but in a gaming society, for example, like World of Warcraft at the moment, we have that opportunity. We have that, they can do that. That's just my feeling about, World of Warcraft. I think is still going to run for a long time as long as people show interest. As long as you want to buy water, people will sell water.
Yeah. You're going to have on that same topic, a revolutionary change where you say, okay, we're switching the servers off and we're giving you something else. A lot of people are going to say, oh, why did I put so much effort into all of this if it's going to end? I mean,
exactly.
I've got this character. He's been there since launch. I've seen every dungeon. I've seen every raid. I've seen every holiday event. I've got all the achievements. And now you're telling me it's just going to go away.
It's going to be over. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have an uproar. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, also, you started playing the game with the end game in mind. I mean, surely people do things to reach a point. You said earlier that you want to finish the game. You know what I mean? So now, with vanilla, the end game, there was end game content. So you thought, okay, I'm going to play the game and do this, and that'll end the game. That's how it works in offline games or in normal games. There's a bad guy boss. You play the game, you kill the boss. Yay, game's over, buy a new game. Yeah. World of Warcraft has changed that concept in the sense of, hey, don't worry, we'll bring out a new boss in 6 months.
Yeah.
So the game literally doesn't end. And I don't know, that concept changed somewhere in the last 10 years. I don't know where it changed for me. I don't log in, and I literally, everything I do will be to go kill that last boss. Surely it'll have an impact because I want a new shield, I want a new sword, want a new whatever. But they've brought in so much other content that's technically, not got anything to do with the end boss. Like you said, holiday, festive events, things like that. And the point that I'm trying to make is, that the game has no longer got an end.
Yeah.
Now it's a world just continuing, that they can bring in new things, take out old things, things like that.
Now, okay, now that you say they have to continuously change and everything, I want to ask you the question, George, being a recently returned World of Warcraft player,
Yes.
Is what, on the negative side of things, what stayed the same since your last experience? Why did you quit? And then again, why did you come back? Let's start with that. Why did you quit, and then why did you come back?
Okay, well, it's people think that's a very difficult question. It's not really difficult. It's as much as WoW changes, it still stays the same. It's blessing and it's curse in the same sense, because we've said that people go and try different games and they come back because it's what they know. Yes, that's the good thing. Engine-wise, nothing's changed. New expansions have come and gone. I quit. I think you can't say quit if I came back, but let's say I put it on pause or I stopped playing it for a while due to the fact that other things interested me due to real life stuff, because like any MMO, it does take time. and it's time from your real life obligations / responsibilities that you have to give up. So I think that's one of the biggest things. But for as to the negative part of it, like I said, now things are still the same. So I played the game after coming back after like 2 years or whatever. I played it for a week and I could still play it. There was nothing different about it. It's like riding a bicycle because the engine and everything is still the same. Yes, I went to new continents or whatever, but I'm talking about the core machine, W forward, A, what's it, A left, D right, S back. That's still the same. That engine is still the same.
The core mechanics.
As far as, the core mechanics is still the same. And like I said, that is what makes it easy to come back and just play the game again. But unfortunately, that's also what makes it monotonous. It makes it a grinding fest. Now, the reason why I left was another game called EVE Online, which is similar to. I have two. What do you call it? I have two mistresses, and one's EVE Online, and the other one's World of Warcraft, and I have to give both of them attention every now and again. But no, any MMO will give you this experience, and I think what I like about the two is they're very diverse, very different. That's why I can go visit a bit with the one and then come back to this one and visit this one for a while, because they're so significantly different. So to answer your question why I left, there were some real life problems and an interest problem. Then why did I come back? I liked the new expansion they released. The content was when I started playing, for example, Burning Crusade after vanilla. I never played vanilla. This current expansion takes you back to that world before it was changed. So it's definitely like Slab Wrangle said earlier. The lore is important, and I agree. It's one of the things that brought me back to playing it again. And why I came back, because its engine is so easily just reintegratable. First of all, second of all, I've spent, like Slap Wrangle said earlier as well, I've spent so much time in this game. For me to simply go and delete a character now will be gut-wrenching, because I've spent so much time on that character. I've literally played it from 1 to 100, and it's time invested.
So, would you say that plays just quickly? Would you say that plays a major factor in people returning to WoW? Like they try other MMOs and then they come back, or would them returning to WoW be like, oh, I'm coming home again? Or is it mainly the case of, I spent $700,000 on this game, which is technically impossible, but I spent $700,000 on this game, I need to come back? With that?
Yes, well, I think it's an influencing factor. I don't think it's personally, look, I can't speak for everybody because people are different, and it's one of the awesome qualities about people is the fact that they're so different. But speaking for myself, coming home it's difficult because I played EverQuest, for example, which is a game before, or the predecessor before World of Warcraft, which World of Warcraft is actually based on. The lore, I agree, is based on Warcraft, but the engine and the way it's played is based on EverQuest. So if I were to say, but okay, let's not get into that. Let's put a pin on that. If I were to say, it does feel like coming home. It does feel like that the login screen, and you see your character and you log in back in and you meet the community again. And to an extent, yes, it does feel like coming home or coming back, going and visiting your favorite restaurant, and the waiters are still the same, and they still know what you drink and how you eat it, and there's a sense of belonging from the community. And I think that's very important in most MMOs, is the community. We didn't even touch that up till now, but the community is very important. And I think that's also what plays a significant, in my opinion, a significant role in the success of a MMO, is the community and the people that play it. Okay, just to get back to your question about the reason, does it feel homely? Yes, it does feel like coming home. And secondly, does it the influencing factors that I spent a lot of money on it? For me personally, no. I'm currently spending money on it because I enjoy it. Otherwise, I won't be spending money on it. Surely, like I said, if you don't enjoy the game, don't play it.
It's
Don't
like
waste your money.
it's like now that you've explained the whole coming home thing, it's like when I recently, for a very brief period of time, returned to Eve. That login screen, that voice. I mean,
that
you were there
feeling.
with me experiencing. I'm sitting there, it's like, oh man, this is so beautiful.
Yeah,
And
it's goose flesh. It's things
yeah.
that you didn't take in mind in the beginning because it's just login screen, welcome, bloop, whatever, and then while coming back, the small things that you didn't realize you missed, it's actually the things that you notice.
Yeah, I've got
Goosebumps, not goose
slightly-
flesh.
I've got
Bumps, yes. Chicken meat.